Hey guys, it's Adrian over at BHA here bringing you a new video. So today guys, have I got a treat for you. We are doing a product review on Zemismart smart devices. So the nice guys over at Zemismart sent me over some products to test out and kind of do a review on and show you guys my thoughts, which of course I was super excited about. So I'm not going to lie to you, before Zemismart contacted me, I'd probably never heard of Zemismart devices. But here is their website, and as you can see, they got all kinds of stuff on their site. Lots of different devices available, and looks pretty awesome. So if you haven't ever heard of Zemismart devices before, feel free to check out their website. I'll have all the links to lots of different stuff down below. Definitely worth checking out. And on top of everything else, the nice folks over at Zemismart, in conjunction with Aliexpress, have sent me a QR code for you guys to scan and get a discount as well. So if nothing else, pause this video, grab a snapshot of the QR code, and check it out on Aliexpress. That sale will start on March 28th. Alright, so let's just do a quick run through of everything we're going to cover in this video. So of course we'll go through the fancy unboxing of each of the products. And then we're just going to do a walkthrough of each device. So we'll start with the Zigbee switch. Once we're done with that one, we'll do a walkthrough on the smart fan light switch. And then lastly, we'll do a walkthrough on the smart water heater switch. So let's get started. All right, so here we are. Like I said, they sent me three devices. The first one is a Zigbee smart switch. So it comes in a pretty small box. It's really similar in size to like a Sonoff Basic. The setup is almost the same, except all the wires go in on one side, as opposed to having in put on one side and output on the other. Other than the Zigbee switch, you get instructions on how to wire it up and to configure it for SmartThings. All right, now this next box, this is the fan light switch combo. So this is a Wi-Fi enabled fan light switch combo. So you've probably seen some of these on Amazon and some of the other places. This has got the glass, front end with just a little touch buttons. Real sleek looking. It's got a up and down for your fan speed. Pretty nice looking faceplate. In here, of course, again, you get instructions on how to set it up along with the screws for mounting it to the wall. So move this out of the way and take a look at the smart water heater switch. All right, so similar to the light fan combo switch, this one is basically designed about the same. It's got a button on the front of the glass facing that allows you to turn the water heater on and off. And then they also sent you instructions on how to wire it up and get it configured. Now, both of those Wi-Fi wall switches are basically Tuya Smart Life products. So they're both running ESP chips. So you can flash these with tasmota. But before you do, you probably want to watch the rest of this video and you can kind of discover the issues that I ran into. But nonetheless, let's move on to the configuration of our Zigbee switch. Here's the Zemismart page for this Zigbee switch. I'll have all the links in the description down below. But, it's got lots of information. Shows you that you can configure it for SmartThings or Echo Plus control. And like I said, the size of it is pretty much about the size of a Sonoff Basic. The main difference will be that all of the lines come in on one side versus input on one side and output on the other. All right, let's wire it up. So we're going to basically put this in line with a power strip. That's an easy way to test these types of devices. Now, just a reminder, this is a Zigbee device, so in order to use this, you will obviously have to have some sort of Zigbee controller, either with a SmartThings hub or some other kind of Zigbee controller. All right, so I've cut the cord and I have stripped the wires down and I'm ready to wire it into the Zigbee switch. And here we are, we've got it all wired up. I just need to put the little cover back on and then we are ready to test it out. The one issue I had with wiring this up, and it's really my fault, nothing wrong with the Zigbee switch itself, is that the power strip that I'm using has an extremely thick cord and it does not fit well in the Zigbee switch. I was able to get it in there, not as cleanly as I would have liked. Should work fine for testing this. All right, so we've got it plugged in the wall. Make sure it's on. Please ignore the dirtiness of this extension cord power strip. All right, so I push the button, it goes red, push it again, it turns green. This cord's flashing because it's not currently connected to anything. Let's get it added to SmartThings. All right, so they have the instructions in here in the box. So it makes it real easy to get this set up because you can just follow right along with the instructions here and you will be able to get it added. But we'll kind of walk through it real quick. All right, so I'm in the SmartThings app. We're going to go over here and hit the plus symbol to add a device. And take it a second to find everything. All right, so here it is. It came in with the came in listed as a thing device, so kind of generic. We're gonna go ahead and click on that. And I'm just gonna change the name. We're just gonna call it Power Strip. Hit done. Say okay. And of course, at this point, it says please wait. If you read the instructions, the next step, you have to actually go on to the API site and make some modifications to the device here in order to complete the install. So we're going to click on Power Strip and we'll do an edit down here down at the bottom. Basically where it says type, we're going to change that to a Zigbee switch. And everything else can stay the same. We're going to hit update. All right, now that it's listed as a Zigbee switch, we should be able to jump back over to the SmartThings app. Let's see, Power Strip. And of course, now you can see it has a button, so you can turn it on and off. It is now configured. That's as simple as that. It was pretty easy to set up. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and add it into Home Assistant as just one last step to complete the full install of getting this thing configured the way we want it. Since I'm using the new SmartThings integration with Home Assistant, uh, there's not a lot of things we have to do to get this showing up in Home Assistant other than we're going to restart Home Assistant so that it can pick up the new devices that have been added. So, I'm in Portainer. We're going to hit restart. We'll give Home Assistant a second to come back up. Then we're going to go over to integrations. Looks like it's already been added in there. I saw it down at the end. Oh, there it is. Power Strip, Zigbee. It's got the functionality down at the bottom that's currently turned on. And of course, we have the ability to control it here. And then, of course, we can add it into Home Assistant and everything else. All right, let's just do a quick review of our Zigbee smart device that we just set up. So the entire install for this Zigbee switch took me probably less than 30 minutes. And in fact, the majority of that time was spent just, you know, cutting the cord, stripping the wires. Other than that, I mean, once that was done, we were able to add it into SmartThings very quickly and then also add it into Home Assistant as well. So ease of use and configuration, I thought, I mean, it was awesome. The main thing I didn't like about this device is I felt like price-wise, it was listed on the Zemismart site for about $23. Um, I think that's probably priced a little high for some devices that I think are similar. I mean, especially like a Sonoff Basic, which you can get for, $5 or less. So that being said, based on the price, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was so easy to set up, and as long as you have some sort of Zigbee hub like SmartThings, it went extremely smoothly. The price was the only thing that I didn't necessarily like, so we're going to go 4 out of 5 stars. Uh, Definitely still worth checking out if you guys use a lot of Zigbee devices. Here is that QR code one more time to scan in for tomorrow. If you decide you want this product or you want to check out the other Zemismart stuff, jump over to Aliexpress and use this QR code to take advantage of their sale. Let's go ahead and move forward and check out the next device. All right, so this next device is the Smart Fan Light Switch combo. It's about $30 on the Zemismart site. Lots of information here. It is Wi-Fi enabled, so it will have its own IP address. It's using the ESP chip. You can also control it with the Smart Life app or the Tuya app if you want. Here's the diagram for wiring it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing wired up. So they give you the instructions to wire everything up in the box. Super easy to do. Everything's labeled on the back, so not hard to set up. The downside for me, as you can see here, as with a lot of places or a lot of people here in the U.S., wall box that has a place for a light and the fan is a 2-gang box. This switch, of course, is only a single gang. So we'll definitely have to do some modifications in order for this to work in my wall socket. Nothing wrong with the switch plate itself, it's just the way that my house is wired with having 2 switches versus a single box switch. All right, so in order to do our modification, we're going to basically cut a template in a double gang blank wall plate so that we can basically mount this single gang switch to that wall plate. All right, so we've cut it. I've got it cut, and as you can see, it fits all right. Probably not the prettiest I could have done it, and you could certainly buy these brackets on Amazon that will be a little bit cleaner, but for this tutorial, I figured this will work out just fine. Let's get this thing wired in. All right, so we got it, our bracket mounted, and get the wall plate bracket mounted, and I have the switch here wired up. Everything's connected, so we are ready to test this thing out and see how it works. All right, so we've got this thing mounted in the wall. It looks fairly clean. I mean, it's not as nice as if it was a 2-gang. Not going to complain too much about it. It's in my office, so not too many people will probably see it. Looks good. Buttons are working. We press this button here. We'll turn the fan off. And of course, it's starting to slow down, so that is working as well. All right, so we got it wired up. Everything looks good. We're going to do a review on this one. So I didn't go into details on how I set it up, and I'll tell you why. All right, so I made the mistake of flashing this guy with tasmota. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It flashed very easily using Tuya Convert. The problem with it is that there is not a template currently set up for this switch, and I could not find a pinout that actually worked. Now, I communicated with DigiBlur on getting this thing set up, and he was able to help me quite a bit. But what we basically determined was that I was going to have to take this back to the stock firmware and do a packet capture to try to figure out exactly what each of these buttons is doing. So the downside is that I was unable to actually get this configured the way I wanted it to with Tasmota. So that being said, it didn't take too long to configure and install this thing. You should be able to do it in about the same amount of time it took to do the Zigbee switch. And you can add this thing into Home Assistant if you're willing to use the Tuya Cloud component for Home Assistant. That being said, I'm going to give this, again, 4 out of 5 stars just because of the fact that I was not able to get Tasmota working on it, which would force me to use the Tuya component in Home Assistant. Again, if you like the product, here is the QR code again. Pause the video, copy that QR code so that you can take advantage of the discount that they have with Aliexpress tomorrow. Price-wise, I think it's probably similar to what you would pay for other glass touch wall plate switches. And I've not seen any other ones have the fan speed control and a light switch all in one box. So that is super cool. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to that last smart water heater switch and do our run through of getting that one set up and see how that goes. Here is the Zemismart page for this particular device. So it's about $26, fairly comparable to what you'll see on Amazon for stuff like this. And it looks to me that it's basically just a switch that you could use for pretty much anything, but of course it has the little water droplet there to signify that it's for a water heater. But it looks like it will handle a 110 all the way up to a 220, so it should handle voltage for whatever type of water heater you have. All right, so for me, in setting up mine, as you can see, I have a water heater that's in basically a little closet by itself, so it's kind of hidden out of the way, and it's basically hardwired in. So I don't have any kind of wall box or anything on how this was set up. It just comes straight out of the wall into the water heater. So in order to make this work, I needed to put at least some sort of little wall box that I can mount this plate into. Because it's in the closet, it doesn't have to look super fancy because nobody's probably ever going to see it. As you can see here, I've got it wired in with a just a box that I mounted on the wall right here. I'm testing this out before I get it actually put back in the box. Everything looks good. It's functioning properly, at least from a switch standpoint. And then, of course, as you can see here at the very end, it's a little crooked. Again, I'm not too worried about it because it's inside this closet, but it is wired in and got it mounted in the little box. It is functioning properly. Everything looks good there. All right, so I did flash this one with Tasmota as well. But the great thing about this one is I was able to figure out the pinout and get this thing functioning in Tasmota, which then, of course, allows me to get it added into Home Assistant as well. So we'll go over to configuration. In order to set this up, I just need to verify that my MQTT is all configured. Everything looks good here. Got everything set up for MQTT. Once I've verified that, I can jump over to Home Assistant and add the switch into my switch.yaml file, put in all the MQTT information. I'm just going to call this one a water heater A. My house has 2 water heaters, so this is the water heater on the left side of the house. Put in the command topic. I'm just going to call this one Tuya/cmnd /wh_a/power. State topic Tuya/stat/wh_a/power. Give it the payload on and off. And then, of course, we'll set the retain to be true. Once we have that in there, we can go ahead and save it. And we'll restart Home Assistant just to make sure that everything comes in correctly. We'll give Home Assistant a second to come back up. All right, so here I am in Loveless. We're just going to add in a card for this new entity. Let's see, we'll just say an entities card. Water heaters. I don't need to toggle the whole card. Put in this new switch. There it is, water heater A. And of course, now we have the ability to control and turn the water heater on and off. And that's the end of this switch as well. Let's do a quick product review. Let's do a quick review of this one as well. So again, this one installed about the same time as the others. It went pretty quick. I didn't have to do any special customization other than I had to mount a wall box for this, for my particular water heater. I was able to get this thing flashed with tasmota, and it actually worked properly. So no issues on that end. So all in all, I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5 stars because I love the fact that I can get tasmota on it. I love the fact that I was able to, I loved how easy it was to install. And like I said, price-wise, it's pretty comparable to what you'll see anywhere else. I like the cool little water droplet to signify that this is for a water heater. And those glass wall plates are super sleek looking and real clean. Again, here is the QR code for Aliexpress. Check out their website. I have nothing else just to see what all Zemismart devices are available on Aliexpress, or check out Zemismart's website and see all the devices they have there. I will tell you they do have some devices on Amazon, so feel free to search for Zemismart devices on Amazon. They have a small list of devices that they have currently selling on Amazon as well. So we'll just do a quick run through of everything we covered in this video. Of course, we started by unboxing all of the devices that Zemismart sent over. Then we did a walkthrough on setting up the Zigbee switch. Once that was done, we did a walkthrough on setting up the light fan combo switch. And then lastly, we did a walkthrough on the water heater switch. The Zigbee switch I gave 4 out of 5 stars. The fan light combo switch I did 4 out of 5 stars, and the smart water heater switch I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Here's that QR code one last time. I want to thank the guys over at Zemismart for sending over these products for me to review for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. And as always, if there are any videos out there that you'd like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I will see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around. Thanks.